These are skills that every human being should have, as far as I'm concerned, because literally, if you have all of these, even if you have like 2 or 3 of these skills, they'll completely change your life. What makes Nigerians so successful? I've noticed a common thread with how the average Nigerian is raised and the way our parents conduct their households. One time I used to joke with one of my friends about how I think our parents went to the same parenting school. Like the same person taught them how to be, parents. As much as people talk about, the trauma that comes with having an African parent and some of the things that they could have done better, I also feel like they did a lot of amazing things. And I'm going to speak for Nigeria now because Africa is not a country, right? Nigeria is a separate country. So I don't know how it happens everywhere else, but I know how it happens in Nigeria. And these 5 mindsets, I believe, are very key to how successful Nigerians are and just the way that we conduct ourselves. Now, I know a lot of people's exposure to Nigerians abroad is the Nigerian Prince emails. I promise you that despite how popular it seems, that's like a small segment of our population. We're not all scammers looking for somebody to take money from, as an aside. So the first mindset is something I'm going to call the only one head principle. And basically, this is where your parent will tell you that the person who succeeded more than you has only one head. And while this sometimes fosters unhealthy competition and makes you compare yourself with others, what I took from it is that if something has been achieved by whoever, a human being with one head, white, black, brown, whatever, if somebody who has one head has achieved something, meaning that the person has like no supernatural powers that you don't have, person is not like Medusa or some other kind of mutant who has more than one head. As long as the person has one head like you, is a human being like you, whatever they do, you can do too. And for me, that's an encouragement, right? All I need to do is find one person that has done it. And even if I can't find anybody who has done what I want to do, I will be the first person, because other people too were pioneers. They led the way. I talk about a lot of things that seem to be out of reach, because I tell them that the people who are doing it, they have only one head. Some of them came from even worse backgrounds and situations than I did. So as long as the person who is enjoying that life, who is having that success, has only one head, then it's something I can achieve too. And I feel like, as much as this sounds like a Nigerian thing, I feel like it is a life-changing mindset to have, because instead of looking at something that somebody achieves and thinking, oh wow, that could never be me, or they just got lucky, or it's because their father is rich, you think, oh wow, a human being like me has done this, which means I can do it too. So like I said, some people take this to be, a reason for comparison, to keep up with the Joneses, to just begin to pursue things in their life that have no meaning, right? Some Nigerians take it to mean they should have 4 degrees because other people are having 4 degrees. But again, you just take the positive side of this mindset that if a human being has achieved something that I want to achieve, then I can do it too. The second mindset is remember whose child you are. And while this is low-key a threat, your parents telling you, don't embarrass me or else I'm going to finish you. But it also means remember that you're part of something bigger. You're part of a community. Your behavior reflects on all of us. The way you conduct yourself in the world is not just about you. You're not an individual unit. You're a member of a family. You bear our name. You are representing us when you leave this house. And as much as people can think that, oh, that's unnecessary pressure, it's not. Because I promise you that there are times in my life when I wanted to just do anything that I wanted, but I remembered my parents are going to have to bear some of the consequences of this. My brothers are going to have to bear some of the consequences of this. I am a member of a family. I need to represent my family members well. Like sometimes even just wanting to leave a comment on social media and just dragging somebody to the ends of the earth because they said something silly. I just think, oh my gosh, what if my brother stumbles on this comment? He's now going to be embarrassed that he has the kind of sister who fights with people on social media. So, and I feel like you see this a lot. I feel like a lot of personal moral decay is because people feel like their actions don't matter. Like if I knew that everything I do is hurting somebody else, right? It's not just about me. Like my every action that I take, there's somebody else who's going to suffer the consequences of it. I probably wouldn't do that thing as much if I know that me conducting myself as a crazy person wherever in public is going to make people say, oh wow, who is this person? Who raised this person? And I mean, look, I don't want anybody to ever say that my mother didn't do her best. I mean, whatever else is left, that's probably on my own. But The point is that when you feel like you're part of something big, and I know how this is transformational because I've worked in companies where I was made to feel like every little thing I did was changing the world. And that's why, like, I take my work very personally. Whatever work I do it to the best because I believe that it is changing somebody's life, is doing something. So believing that you're part of a community, you're part of a bigger picture, that you matter, it definitely affects how you conduct your life, and it's a life-changing mindset to have. Third mindset is you will not die. And this basically is having a spirit of resilience. Look, Nigerians can thrive anywhere in the world because we believe that it might be rough, you might have struggles, it might be, you might have to push through, but you will not die. As long as you don't die, you will find a way. I remember somebody talking about how they found the flyer of a Nigerian church in public transportation in Russia. That's crazy. But that's Nigerians for you. Like, you will find Nigerians in every single corner of the world, and they will find a way to thrive wherever they are. And I believe that this is just that resilience that we have. And while again, I mean, people, there's a negative side of just always believing that things have to be hard and you have to struggle to do everything and just hustling. The fact is that life is full of challenges and you need to be resilient to be able to move forward, to push through whatever struggles you have. So if you have that mindset that I will not die, I will make it through this, I will find a way through this, it is completely life-changing, because no matter what challenges that you have, if you believe that everything is figure-outable, just like the book by Mary Folio, if you believe that this is a temporary situation, no matter how long, the storm is not going to last forever. Rain has to stop at some time. One day, I will get out of this. So that's a Nigerian mindset. And it's like, no matter how hard things are, you will not die. You will find a way. Another thing that makes Nigerians so successful is that they can laugh in the middle of chaos. Now, I know that it seems like a trauma response, as people will say that people who turn serious situations into, like, people who always have to find humor in everything, that it's a trauma response. But the truth is that sometimes, even in the middle of trouble, even when like your life seems to be falling apart, you need to just tell yourself, you know what, I can't come and kill myself, which is something that we Nigerians say. So in other words, sometimes even when things seem like they're falling apart, you need to take a break and step away from it and try to look on the brighter side, find humor, find a reason to laugh. And that's why you see that even when things seem to be going badly for Nigerians, they will always make a joke out of it. Even in the most serious situation, like there's always somebody who's going to make a skit or some kind of meme and turn it into a joke, and everybody's going to laugh about it. Now, it doesn't mean that when it's time to address serious issues, people don't address serious issues, but they understand that sometimes if you don't want to go crazy, you have to be able to laugh, even when there's nothing funny, right? So Nigerians have this ability to be able to look on the brighter side and find humor out of everything. And I feel like it's a very important mindset to have, because sometimes laughing can make you calm, in a situation that you can't control. And sometimes all you can do is actually stay calm, because the truth is that being anxious, freaking out, getting overwhelmed is not really going to help you solve the problem. In fact, it's going to make you make mistakes. You're unlikely to think clearly if you're panicking and just running all over the place. So if you're able to laugh and get calm, you might be able to see the situation from a different perspective, or honestly, just keep your head, because the fact that the situation will pass. And if you're even going to have any chance of solving that problem, you need to have a clear head. So being able to laugh even when it looks like your life is falling apart, I feel like it's a very, very major survivor skill that I have developed, and I think it's life-changing. And finally, one of our national mottos is Nigerian they carry last, which means we're always going to show up and show out. There's a spirit of excellence. If we're doing something, we want to do it well. We want to go hard or go home. And that's what Nigerian they carry last means. It means that we're determined to be at the forefront. We're determined to shine. We're determined to do the best that can be done. Now, again, like I said, it makes some people unduly competitive and they want to keep up with the Joneses. They want to constantly outdo each other. They want to be unnecessarily flamboyant. They want to borrow money to have weddings they can't really afford. But that's a conversation for another day. But at the heart of it, the positive side of it is that whatever you do, do it well. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. Something my mom used to drum in my head all the time when I was, a child is, what's worth doing is worth doing well. If you're gonna do it, you might as well do it well. And this is equality that I see in so many Nigerians. I see it in myself and my brothers, because literally it's what our parents did. It's that they believe that if you're going to do it, don't be a layabout, don't just be a joker, doing things halfway, not doing things well. So that's why you see that. Even when Nigerians do things like music, like, things that look like, oh, it's not a serious thing, it's not a big deal. You can tell that they're going to go hard because we believe that Nigeria will carry last. We have to be the best. And I feel like these mindsets are, they are very pervasive in Nigerian community. That's the positive Nigerian community, not the criminals. And I feel like it's very, very important. These are skills that every human being should have, as far as I'm concerned, because literally, if you have all of these, even if you have like 2 or 3 of these skills, they'll completely change your life, because you're going to approach life from a perspective of possibility, of knowing that no matter how difficult things get, and I assure you, I promise you that life will get challenging. There is nobody who has it easy. Nobody's life is perfect. Believe me, no matter how much, sometimes even having money brings into your life all these extra issues that you will need to wade through, and just by knowing that you can figure things out, that you are capable, and that's the mindset that the average Nigerian has, that I'm capable. I will figure this out. I'm strong enough to figure this out. Thanks so much for watching this video. Let me know what you think about these mindsets, and let me know if that these are things that you find in your culture as well. If these are cultural habits that you have, no matter where you're from in the world. See you next time. Bye.